There is a massive uproar in the country after there have been regional parties in Jammu and Kashmir, including the PDP leader, Chief Mehbooba Mufti and Sajjad of the People's Conference, to condemn the death of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah. Mehbooba Mufti announced that she was going to cancel her election rally in the valley in solidarity with Lebanon and Hezbollah. Sajjad called the death of Hassan Nasrallah as the supreme sacrifice and called him a martyr. Omar Abdullah was more cautious in his statement. He fell short of condemning the Israeli attack, but at the same time urged the government of India to pressurize Israel to de-escalate and ensure peace in the region. Hundreds of people were seen protesting and shouting slogans on the streets of Kashmir, showing support to Lebanon and Hezbollah. BJP has come down heavily on Mehbooba Mufti and Omar Abdullah, accusing them of supporting terrorists. They have questioned these leaders over their silence over the killings of the Hindus in Bangladesh and Pakistan, but also accusing the regional parties of Jammu and Kashmir of backing separatists and terrorists to appease the vote bank. The BJP said that these parties and their leaders were in favor of terrorism and not democracy. Joining me on the telecast, let's start off our conversation with Tausif Shah, who's the PDP leader. Mr. Shah, what is the compulsion for the PDP to join in and support the people in Jammu and Kashmir who are coming out in large numbers on the streets to protest against the death of the Hezbollah leader Nasrallah?
Yeah, hi, Mega, thanks. I would like to very fastly reply to this, your question. Like I'd start that yes, we are in the solidarity with the killed one, but the main thing is that if you say that we can see that when BJP raised the issue of Ram Mandir, when we have seen the notion that Babri, they used to be Ram Mandir first, then they converted it to the Babri Mandir, demolished it and converted to Babri Mandir, Babri Masjid, then once again demolished and Ram Mandir took back its. So now, likewise, let me tell you that the Hezbollah, the Hezbollah chief, this Nasrallah, he was fighting for the Masjid Al-Aqsa, and that's very sacred to the Muslims. This is a faith. This is a religious belief that it's very sacred to our faith. It's very sacred to our religion. So the person who was trying to take hold of the same masjid which stands very sacred to us, so we are in solidarity with that person. We don't know what his stand is. Like if you can see that we have seen when we were fighting the Britishers, like we had Gandhi ji, he was a supporter of non-violence. We had Subhash Chandra Bose, he had his own army with struggle. So we can't say that both of them were wrong or one was wrong and the another was correct.
Okay, so but again, you know, Hezbollah is proscribed as a terrorist organization globally. So has Hamas and so has Houthis.
I'll tell you.
Then are you condoning the terror activities of Hezbollah and Hamas and Houthis?
No, the Hezbollah has been created as a terrorist by the Israelis, the Jews. So we cannot go by
even by United States of America and other countries across the globe.
Oh, they are hand in glove with the Jews, because we can say what they are doing to the Palestinians. They have killed 40,000 innocent Gazians. Now, who killed them? Did Nasrallah kill them? So we have not seen any condemnation from America. We have not.
Are you at this point of time saying that the 7th October 2023 attacks were not terror attacks, where there were dozens of Israelis, dozens of Jews who were killed, they were maimed, they were raped, several of them kidnapped?
Meghna, we have to go back. We have to go back and see how Israelis entered into the Palestine, and then
I will not go back. I will not go back to 1947. There is no point. I'm saying I'm just asking you. Is that would you describe it as a terror attack? Or no? At this point of time, since you seem to be non-committal in terms of what your response is going to be. Again, a second question about Afzal Guru, where statements coming in from the PDP and the National Conference saying there was nothing came out of hanging Afzal Guru.
Meghna, this cannot be a multiple choice question. Like I said, that like if we go by the version of the Jews, by Israelis, we see them as the terrorists. If we go by the version of the Palestinians, we don't see them as a terrorist. So
How do you react to Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed? Are they freedom fighters or are they terrorists?
Right now we are talking about the Israel. Right now we are talking about the my party president.
Fair enough. You brought in Babri Masjid and Ram Mandir, and I'm asking you. I'm just want to understand from you what is your definition of a terrorist, and therefore I would like to ask you: is Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba a terrorist organization for you?
Any organization who kills innocent people, yes, obviously that organization is a terrorist who kills innocent people. So we cannot equate. Right now we are talking. Let's not divert the issue.
I'm not diverting the issue. I'm at this point in time asking, first of all, since you are saying that the Hamas terrorist organization has not committed any act of terror, I'm asking you very simply, straightforwardly, 7th of October 2023, was it a terror attack or not? Okay, all right. Savio Rodriguez, would you like to get into the conversation here?
Well, I'd like to get into the conversation quite simply because I just got back from Israel last night, and let me clear a certain amount of communication that's been going on by this panelist, as well as enlighten some of the panelists out here. I happened to look at videos that were not circulated publicly yet. Some were, some were not. And these videos actually highlight the atrocities, forget atrocities, the brutality of Hamas terrorists on innocent Israeli civilians. There were women that were raped. There was a child that was shot point blank. There was a man whose head was chopped off, all while they were shouting what was considered to be a religious cry. Hezbollah on October 8th launched rockets at Tel Aviv and Israel. Till today, 9,000 missiles have come into Israel territory and 1,000 drone rocket bombs. Are these not terror organizations?
Mr. Rodriguez, why don't you say that
40,000 people have... I did interrupt you.
Yeah, please. Okay, go ahead.
When you see a woman being raped, please understand what I'm talking about. When the Hamas broke those borders and walked into Israel, there were Palestinian civilians who joined the terror group and committed the atrocities. So please don't pontificate sitting over here. We have seen similar genocides happening to the Kashmiri Pandits as well on our land.
Should I reply?
On our land.
Okay.
Let me finish. I'm not finished yet.
Yes.
Okay,
go ahead. Yes.
Aspect at the end of the day is Nasrallah, Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah. He is dead right now, and I'm saying it openly. A good terrorist is a dead terrorist, and that's what he deserved. Because if you look at what they've been doing, Hamas and Hezbollah, even for the people of Lebanon and the people of Palestine, only the leaders made money. Where were the leaders when the Hamas attack happened? They were sitting in Qatar, sitting in opulence. What about the poverty of the people in Palestine?
Okay, all right.
Saudi Arabia, United States.
Let me please reply.
You've made your point. Yes, Savio, you've made your point. Asif, would you like to react?
Yes. Mr. Rodriguez, as you said that you have seen the videos that have not been circulated. There are already hells and loads and tons of videos of 3-year-old Palestinian children being brutally killed by
Israeli.
Who started it? Did you speak?
Who started it?
Did you speak on that?
Who started it? I never that as well. Who started the terror attack?
Now let me reply.
Okay. Let Savio, let Tausif at this point of time. Savio, I've given you time on the platform. Let Tausif respond to this, please. Savio, you've made your point. Tausif, another 30 seconds before I go to my other panelists. Yes, you want to make a point.
Just please let me reply to.
The same thing they go on pontificating.
Yes.
So did you know who started
Tausif, Savio, let him speak, please. Savio, let him speak.
Yes. I request that, let me reply to Mr. Savio. He just asked a question, who started it? This was started back by the Jews who were given a small piece of land there.
Okay, I'm not going to, again, like I said, I'm not going to get into this. It will take me a day and more to actually discuss the history of the Israel-Arab war. Okay, fair. Okay, all right. I also have with me right now on the panel Professor Madhav Nalapar. I would request Savio and Tausif to please keep your comments to the next round that I have with you. I will request Savio and Tausif, kindly stop arguing between the both of you. Please, thank you, Professor Madhav Nalapar. How do you view at this point of time? Is this vote bank politics that is being played by regional parties, especially Mehbooba Mufti and Sajjad Lone? We see there are hundreds of people who've come out protesting and condemning the death of Nasrallah and supporting Hezbollah and Hamas. This is not the first time that it has happened. When there were Israeli strikes on Hamas, there was similar protests that were taking place, not just in Jammu and Kashmir, but also that we saw that happening in Kerala as well. How do you react to this? Why is it happening in our country and particularly in Jammu and Kashmir?
Look, I would like to say that I was in Kashmir multiple times. I was in Kashmir in 89, 90, when the Pandit community was almost exterminated from the valley. And I've seen all that happen in front of my eyes. Now, for example, our friend was talking about colonialism. Was Lebanon occupied by a single Israeli soldier? Was Gaza occupied by a single Israeli soldier? There are many people now who believe that Israel made a mistake in not having soldiers in Lebanon and Gaza. Not one Israeli soldier or civilian was in Gaza or Lebanon. So what kind of colonialism are we talking about? People do not want terror groups. I've seen this in Kashmir in the worst periods. I've seen it in the Punjab, in our country. I've seen it in Palestine. The Palestinians are terrified of these terrorists. If they oppose them, I would request this gentleman to go to Gaza and say anything negative when Hamas was ruling about Hamas, or anything negative about Hezbollah in Lebanon, and see what happens to him. And then he will know, and then his family will know. He will no longer be there. His family will know what terrorists are doing. I would like to say, people do not want terrorism, and please do not abuse an entire religion, an entire community. This is Jews. You're talking the language of Hezbollah, Hamas, and all these other groups that want to completely eliminate the Jewish people in the way the Nazis eliminated them in the past. I don't at all understand this. Now, please don't forget, I've been to these locations. I don't know if you've been to these locations. I suggest that you take an immediate flight and reach those locations, and then you will see a situation for yourself. But I'd like to say, Gaza and Lebanon, the people have been held down by the gun barrel. They were not held down by votes. They were not held down because they wanted Hamas and Hezbollah. Because of the gun barrel, they have been held down. And now I can tell you very clearly, one by one, the terror threat is being eliminated. In Gaza, now Hezbollah, and tomorrow it's going to be some other country. It is going to happen because in a modern mind, including Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, Christians, Jains, Parsis, they want modern education. They want health. They want a good lifestyle. They want all that to have. They want a good job. They want a job in tech. We want Kashmir to become the garden of tech. And some of these people want Kashmir to go back to the dark ages. And may I say, Megha, may I say that from the very beginning, when there was an announcement that BJP and PDP were coming together, this gentleman can go back and trace, I was opposed to it. I said PDP is not the kind of party that any democratic party in a democracy should have an alliance with, and Mehbooba Mufti has just proven it by this gesture, by this gesture of support to Hezbollah. She has just proven it. And this gentleman is keeping quiet about Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar. He is saying any organization, yes, any organization that uses human shields that kills the innocent and that basically is schooled on hatred for a particular religious group, whether it's hatred for Jews or hatred for Hindus or hatred for any other group. That organization is not fit to be in a democracy. And I'd like to say, I think frankly, the laws of India need to be more stringent, and our exit policy needs to be much more liberal, so that gentlemen like these can go where they want to go and then live happily among the similar people. He can cross the border into Pakistan and he'll find many locations there where he'll be very happy, but not in India, not in our country. And may I point out, by our country, I mean a country where we have more than 200 million proud Muslims. Don't forget that. The entire violence in Kashmir, Muslims cannot live in India. 200 Kashmiri Muslims are living happily there, and 200 million and more of Muslims are living happily in India. And may I say, that is what a democracy is. Every faith, every community lives in harmony and peace. And that is the message of every single faith in this world. Thank you, Megha, for that opportunity.
Okay. Major General Dhruv Katoj, then, at this time, when it comes to... Sir, I'll come to you, Mr. I hope you also noticed that Major General Dhruv Katoj has not spoken. I would like to give him the platform as well and the time. In wake of, our diplomatic ties, the situation, and how we have been cultivating our relationship with various Gulf nations, including Iran, vis-a-vis how these terror organizations have been proscribed as such by the West, including United States of America. When we talk about Hezbollah and we talk about Hamas, we are still falling short of designating them as terrorist organizations. You think the time has come?
Thank you, Megha. Megha, I have absolutely no doubts that both the Hamas and the Hezbollah should be designated as terrorist organizations by India. I have no doubts at all, and I do hope the Indian government does it, the sooner the better. The stand of the Indian government when we are looking at these conflicts, I think, has been very, very rational, whether we are looking at the Russia-Ukraine war or what is happening in the Middle East or West Asia, whichever we would like to call it. We have said that we are for peace. So you see, there is no reason for us to get involved with either one party or the other. We will be with the Palestinians, and the stand of the Prime Minister has been very clear. He speaks for the people of Palestine, and the Prime Minister has also made it very clear he speaks for the people of Israel. We do not speak for the Hamas and we do not speak for the Hezbollah, which are terrorist organizations, period. Now, I would just like to I would like to put my stand clear in this conversation, very interesting conversation which has taken place. The question is, a particular person has been killed who is known for his brutality, which has occurred over the years. And he has been assassinated or he has been killed in a strike, a very precision strike, which has caused very little collateral damage. Now, why is there so much angst in India? I haven't understood that. You see, it doesn't concern us. It is somebody else's war. So are we trying to say that if a leader anywhere is killed, the Kashmiri Muslims will be up in arms, or only if a Muslim is killed? And I think that is where the nub of the problem lies. This Muslim is son of it. Because he's a Muslim and he has been killed, we are going to object to it. Then please object to everybody else. Please object to the Christians being killed and the others being killed. But there's no objection there. Please don't carry your extra national religious loyalty beyond this country. Either we are Indians or we aren't. That is the bottom line. And I feel very sad that the people who are responsible for bringing, who are in the helm of power, the people like the Abdullahs and the Muftis, they are responsible for the genocide which took place amongst the Kashmiri Hindus, and I didn't see one of them talking at that time. Instead, the Abdullahs who are directly responsible for the genocide, the Abdullahs, they vacate India and they go and start playing golf in London. I think the time has come, if you want closure in Kashmir, all those people should be tried for genocide. The quicker the better. And once they are punished for genocide, that is the time we will have a closure. It is a shame that people can come here and talk for a Muslim who is killed in Lebanon, but they will not speak a word for the genocide of the Hindus which has taken place in their own backyard, when their own people, the people who had been friends for years and years, who knew the families for generations, they came out in mass slaughter of the Hindu brothers and sisters. They carried out indiscriminate rape and they threw them out of their homes. No bigger shame on any community can be there than this shame. I hope they repent. I hope, and there is still time to repent, because when the next assembly is formed, the first item should be an act of repentance that such an activity will never take place again. Mega, that's what I had to say.
Tausif Shah, would you like to react?
Yeah. I'm very thankful to Mr. Khatoj that he spoke very gently and very to the point, I can say. So I would first like to reply to Mr. Professor Madhavan. If I'm not taking the name, this is Mr. Professor Madhav. Sorry to call you
Professor Madhav Nagpat.
Yeah, Mr. Madhav Nagpat. So I just like to reply to him immediately. Would that be that saying this, please go to Pakistan, sir, Mr. Professor Saab, this is not expected from you, because you
I'm saying that you'll find similar atmosphere there in some parts.
I'll tell you.
You don't want it in India.
You have to remember that
in any other part of India.
over Pakistan.
Don't misconstrue my words. Don't misconstrue my words. Please don't misconstrue what I said.
Okay.
My point is,
this was just to inform you.
Such conditions in India. You will find it there. You will not find it
Okay, sir.
And may I make one more point? For nearly 20 years, I was writing for a Pakistan paper. I have every good feeling for the people of Pakistan, none for the fanatics in Pakistan, and none for the military. Please understand that.
Same here, sir. We have chosen.
Not true.
Okay. Now I'd like to remember that we have chosen India over the Pakistan. We had a very open choice that time. So we have thoughtfully, with our own conscious minds, chosen India over Pakistan. And we are too much more Indians than what you are, or what you are more Indian than me, I am more Indian than you.
We are all equal.
There's no second question on that.
All Indians are equal. Right now, the
debate which is going on, right now, now I'd like to answer to Mr. Dhruv Khatoj. We'll say that it's not only the Abdullahs which have witnessed or which have created the genocides of Kashmiri Pandits. The party which I belong to, the People's Democratic Party, that didn't exist that time. So we are a party which has been started in the year 1999. This was not only the Kashmiri Pandits, but we Muslims also were made scapegoat, or I can say the guinea pigs by the Abdullahs. Yes, I'm 110% with you that they created the genocide, they left the government, they had to become the shield between the militants and the opponents, but they chose, Abdullahs that time chose to leave the government and leave the people to their own death. Go and die. Whatever you do, we are going to play golf in America, London. Now coming back to the point that what right now the solidarity is with, this is not with any of the terrorist groups. We are not supporting any terrorists, because we have seen what terrorism has done to Jammu and Kashmir. We have seen what we have lost and what we have gone.
Eulogized the terrorist leader in her statement.
Let me tell you. Let me complete.
How can you say you're not supporting the terrorists?
Let me complete.
No, I'm giving you the facts. Stop lying.
I know.
It's a habit to lie.
Let me complete. Let me complete, sir.
What did your leader, Mehbooba Mufti, say as far as Nasrallah was concerned?
We are not playing multiple choice game. Sir, we are not playing multiple choice NEET exam. Let me please.
30 seconds, Tausif. 30 seconds. 30
answer.
seconds to you. I'll go to Savio after that.
Let me give you an answer.
Because
So
at
we-
this
we
point
are
in time,
showing
your
our solidarity.
argument that,
We are-
you know,
we are showing our solidarity
Hezbollah
with the
and this
person,
Hezbollah
with the
top
person. To
commander
us, as I already-
Hassan
in my starting
Nasrallah
debate, as I already
has been
said-
fighting for the cause of a mosque that is sacred to the Muslims all over the world, and therefore
Yes.
there is a protest that is coming out, and people in Muslims in
Exactly.
Jammu and
Did-
Kashmir
did-
and
did
PDP are
anyone-
fighting for the
did
cause.
anyone-
It does not
Yes.
does not seem to be a strong argument to put forth. Here it is, there is a terrorist organization, there is a terrorist who is responsible for the deaths of hundreds and thousands of people, not just the Jews, but also taking control of countries
we
like
can-
Syria,
we can- we
people
can
who
say-
have
Megha,
been
we can
who have
say
been
that
dying,
now if
where
we-
development has
if we
been
see
nil,
through the eyes of-
and you are talking about them to be the custodians of the Muslim world. That's not true. That's obviously building a
Megha,
false
Megha,
narrative
Megha,
over
Megha,
there.
if we see
And
through the
mind you,
prism
if
of-
you are so
if we
if you are so concerned for the cause of the Muslims across the globe, why do you not speak about the Uyghur Muslims who are being killed, mutilated, raped, kidnapped, and completely colonized by the Chinese and converting them to Han Chinese? All right,
Not one
Savio,
word, not
Savio,
one
against
word.
them. We speak against them. We protest against them.
I do not see any
Where-
protests.
But
Really?
none of the
Not a
channels
single
carries
one.
it.
Where
There
was
is no
Kashmir
protests.
carries it
There
because
are
that's
there's
not
no
a- that's not a
sloganeering
point
that
of debate for
happens.
the-
I
that's not
don't
the
know.
point of debate for
Savio,
an
quickly,
African.
30 seconds
Nobody-
before I wrap this up. I am out of time.
See, the real reality of the situation on the ground in Israel, Palestine is very simple. On October 6th, Saudi Arabia, United States, people in Palestine and Israel were to come together to a normalization of the relationships via what was the Abraham Accords on October 6th, 2023.
Right.
October 7th, Hamas goes ahead and has a terror attack. What does that mean? And Hezbollah on October 28th launches the missiles against Israel. It clearly means that when nations were coming together to bring about peace in the Middle East, including West Bank and Gaza, there was a certain force that did not want the peace talks, this agreement between Saudi Arabia, Israel, for a Palestinian state to move ahead. And that is why the terror attack happened, so that it could take the peace talks away by about another couple of years. That's the problem.
Right.
In fact, if you ask the Palestinians themselves, those who are not supporting the Hamas, or the Lebanese that are not supporting the Hezbollah, what is it that they want? They want to live a good life. They want socio-economic welfare. The terror organizations are not allowing them to do that. They are forced to be a part of this conflict when all they want is to work. In fact, most of the Palestinians were coming to work in Israel.
Yeah.
That's the reality of
You're
the ground.
absolutely right. Absolutely right. And therefore this misguided argument, narrative being built is something that is also dangerous. And political parties, regional parties in Jammu and Kashmir like the PDP are responsible, and they should be taking a more judicious, responsible stance in ensuring that the path of peace and harmony is followed, and there is no discontent amongst the Muslims who are living across the globe and building a false sense of narrative against a war that has been waged on, particularly with the terrorist organizations like the Hamas, like the Hezbollah, like the Houthis, which are proxies at the hands of Iran. I'm out of time. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast.
For more such videos, subscribe to the Newsx YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.